Today, I am presenting my paper Intergenerational Income Mobility Reduces Poverty, an empirical analysis of the impact of composition effect of intergenerational educational mobility and income mobility on poverty. Intergenerational mobility or fluidity means the degree of difference in social circumstances between parents and offspring. High intergenerational mobility, that is maybe relative or absolute, in a society means that the welfare of a person does not depend on the social status of their parents. When mobility is low in a society, a person's chances of success in life are determined by their birth accident, which is against the fundamental rights of the society. We can also say that in a society where low mobility is a major obstacle to human resource development, a talented person born in a disadvantaged household and yeah, has a lower chance to success in life on the whereas less talented person born in a advanced household or family has a much higher chance to success in their life. In the concept of mobility, there are several papers developed in the past. Social scientists and economists provided an idea of intergenerational mobility in education, intergenerational mobility of in income through different way, and they concluded that when the estimated coefficients of father education and or parents income decreases, then the mobility increases. They define the mobility is 1 minus estimated coefficients of father education or parents education or income, and they concluded that the gap is high, then mobility is high, and the gap is low, the mobility is also low. And this is the basic theory of intergenerational education mobility and intergenerational income mobility. We think that education is one of the major facilitator of economic development, and education is the backbone of the nation. However, in India, there is a large discrimination in educational attainment across economic groups, gender, ethnicity, and religion. Intergenerational mobility or educational mobility measurement is the good case study, maybe in for India. The caste system in India resumed approximately 2000 years back. There are four castes in India. The one is the Brahman, there is a priest, Kshatriya, there is a warrior, Vaishyas, and businessman. These three castes belongs to higher caste or upper caste or general caste, and Shudras, OBC, other backward classes who other backward class, and the other caste which is the out of society, and who is also was the out of society, and the out of resource accessibility, that's called untouchable or Dalits. Before the independence of India, Britishers called them Dalits. In after the enactment of Indian constitution, they are called scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. They are the indigenous people of India. The main motivation of this research is that we have we have find in socio-economic caste census survey 2011 that out of 179.77 million household, 70.7 million household are not poor, 1.6 million households suffering from poverty severity, 87.2 million households victimizing from deprivation. On the other hand, according to estimation of NSS, National Sample Survey Organization, this is the government organization, and ISDS, there's the Indian Human Development Survey conducted by Maryland University and Government of India, and found that in 2012 the asset ownership has been increased 186% for upper caste, and just only 40% increased for SC/ST. Basically, we have already discussed that past research focuses the mobility in terms of 1 minus estimated coefficient of father's education or income. Our paper has a twofold objective. Research objective is to identify that intergenerational educational mobility increases intergenerational and income mobility, and how parents education and occupational status determine the fate of the next generation. To determine and also the another objective is to identify the increase in intergenerational income mobility due to an increase in educational mobility reduces the poverty gap between upper caste or general caste and lower caste children. The papers or literature review have given some of them very important literature which provides the intergenerational educational mobility and intergenerational income mobility in terms of 1 minus estimated coefficient of parents education or income mobility, and also some of them showed the if there is income low intergenerational income mobility, there is a high inequality in the society. Data and methodology: our analysis is based on the data at the individual level, household level, as well as village level. In 2019, we have conducted a primary survey in rural India, and we take West Bengal state, and from West Bengal state we have selected on the basis of literacy 3 districts. One is dividing West Bengal into 3 agroclimatic way, that south, north, and west, and then we surveyed in their household characteristics or other characteristics, and to complete this project the financial support was provided from the Center for Advanced Studies, Department of Economics, Jadavpur University, Kolkata, India. In this chapter or in this research paper, we have to use 2 important econometric model. One is Heckman's selection model, other is Osaka Blinder Reef regression model, which is developed in 2018. Heckman's selection model, basically we have 2 equation. One is a regression equation, other is Heckman selection equation. Regression equations, the dependent variable is real income of real daily income of children, and xi is other independent variables such as parental income, which is adjusted with the corresponding GDP deflator when they retired, and the retired age has been considered at 59, and child's education and other variables, and so on so forth. And second other is the selection model, where dependent variables education mobility yes or no. If children exceeds their parental income, either mother or father, is called intergenerational educational mobility, or otherwise no. And there is a following assumptions hold. One is epsilon 1 distributed 0 and sigma, epsilon 2 0 and 1 and the correlation between the 2 error term is rho. If rho and lambda is significantly different from 0, then there is a selection bias. And in the Osaka Blinder model, to establish a relation between dependent variable and the independent variable and the caste variable or group variable, we consider a function that is FWEG WIEIGI. Here we consider 2 probability function. One is a joint probability distribution function, other is cumulative distribution function. Equation 1 is the PDF and equation 2 is the CDF. To understand the difference between the groups of upper caste and backward caste, that is SC, ST or OBC, for FGT poverty index, the cumulative distribution function of W can be used to calculate the gap, where the W is the daily income, real income of the children, and E is the explanatory variable, and G is the group variable or dummy variable. And putting CDF function in the equation 3, we get equation 4. And why this gap exists? Because there is a two region will arise because of the difference of the distributions of explanatory variables, and because of difference in the relationships between the dependent variable and all other the independent variable. In the to identify how important difference in characteristics, that is composition effect, and differences in coefficients, that is the weight structure effect or coefficient effect, are for explaining the overall gap in the distributional statistics delta FGT. That's why to create the counterfactual components, we have to use the delta FGT equal to FGT function of C W and the equation 5. On the other hand, the difference in the distribution statistics FGT can be distributed into two using this counterfactual, that is a delta FGT is this equation 6 and equation 7. So delta FGT E and delta FGT S both are very important equation in this model, where delta FGTE, that is the composition effect, reflects the gap attributed to differences in characteristics, while delta FGTS would reflect the differences attributed to the relationships between weights, that is the dependent variable, and other explanatory variable. Now, identifying counterfactual statistics, we have to design that there is three REEF regression equation: FGT1 for SC, ST and OBC, equation 8, FGT Gen for upper caste, equation 9, and FGTC, that is the equation 10. It is possible to obtain an approximation for the counterfactual distribution by multiplying the observed distribution of the characteristics, that is del F gen E function of x with a factor psi e, explanatory variable e, psi e, and so it is resembles the distribution, that is df SC ST e function of e. The equation 11. Now, once these reweighting factors are obtained, equation 10 can be written as this FGTC equal to E bar C into prime into beta C, that is the equation 12. The decomposition components are now defined as delta FGT E bar SCST or OBC prime, and beta cap SCST or OBC minus beta cap C, plus E bar SCST or OBC minus eta cap C prime, B hat C, plus E bar C minus E bar gen prime beta cap gen, plus E cap C prime beta cap C minus beta cap gen. And this is the estimation equation we will estimate in our model. Here, first two part of this equation is called the coefficient effect, and second two part is called the composition effect. And of the first part, two part, one is pure composition effect, and other is reweighting error. And second two parts is first part is the pure coefficient effect, and last part is the specification effect. In table 1, we get Heckman selection model results both rho and lambda are significantly different from 0. That means two equations are related and there is a sample selection present. We found a strong association between child and parental income. This is nothing but the income immobility. And we get when a child's formal education increases by 1 year, then child's income will rise by 2.7%. The daily earning will be more likely 114.4% higher for the children who are working in the organized sector than those who are engaged in the unorganized sector. The daily earnings of the SC/ST children are lower, 30.9% lower than the upper caste. The children who have educational mobility, who gets the educational mobility, are more likely, 31.8% more likely to have income mobility. This result that also we found that the children whose parents are illiterate or have a low education, then their children have a income gap that is 5.9% income gap with compared to educated parents children. And on the other hand, the SC/ST children with irregular parental employment account for a 3% income gap, and the south and west zone of West Bengal exhibit a significant income gap compared to north zone. This is the table 1. You can find the results which have already I discussed. Now the result we found from Osaka Blinder Reef regression models. The results in this table, we have to use the poverty line proposed by the Rangarajan committee formed by the government of India, and they proposed their recommendation in 2014 for rural India. At 2011-12 price level is 32. Which person's income is less than 32 in Indian currency will be considered as poor. Our survey shows that there is a 10%, approximately 10% poverty gap with between upper caste and lower caste. And our survey shows that 27% upper caste, 36.6% scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and 34.3% OBC child significantly lies under below poverty level category. On the other hand, we get the depth of poverty and the severity of poverty. And our important finding is that the coefficient of composition effect of income mobility and educational mobility is negative on the poverty gap. That means when income mobility, intergenerational income mobility increases due to increase in educational mobility, that affects negatively on poverty. So this there is no scope to deny that education is not the source to reduce the poverty and increase the income mobility. Similarly, we found the service composition effect, which also reduces the poverty gap, where service composition effect we have considered three dummy variable. One is government or public service, and private service, and self-employed service, and these also also plays an important role to reduce poverty. Our study found also education composition effects plays an important role. We have to take in 5 dummies from primary to up to post graduation level educational dummy, and if 1 year increases and due to composition effect, the poverty gap will reduce. We do not found any significant household composition effect on the poverty gap between UC and SC/ST, but we found the positive PO coefficient effect that helps to increase the poverty gap among upper caste and OBC. The results are shown in table 1 between upper caste and a scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, and we have to seen here the specification error In 3 model, FGT 0 is the incidence of poverty, FGT 1 is the poverty depth, and FGT 2 is the poverty severity. And specification error in 3 model is totally significant, highly significant. So we can consider the impact of all factors on of pure composition effect on the poverty, and model specification is totally fulfill or good. So we can consider the composition effect on the poverty. Here we found that the poverty gap between a general caste and upper caste, there is also we find that a specification error is not significant, but this is very small than the distributional statistics we have to see here. So we can consider also the composition effect is good for to explain the model. And also we have to found in the in this table the coefficient effect is positive. That means there is a wage structure effect on the poverty gap between upper caste and general. So already we have discussed the variables, and here we found that service composition affects positively. That means to increase service composition increases the poverty gap between general caste and OBC. And other and age composition also for negatively impact on the poverty gap. Detailed discussion has been done in the paper. Do not wasting time, we have to we want to conclude my paper. There is the findings from the Heckman selection model. If there is educational mobility, there will be intergenerational income mobility, and education is the source of income mobility, and the income mobility is lower for the child whose parents are illiterate or engaged in the unorganized sector. And the composition effect of intergenerational education mobility and intergenerational income mobility plays an important role to reduce poverty gap among upper caste and backward children. So there is a interrelationship between the educational mobility, income mobility, and poverty. So if we can increase the expansion of education among backward child, we will be able to come out of the curse of poverty. It is not only true for Indian scenario, it is true for all over world, all the nations where the people are suffering from severe poverty severity. So in that country they should set up a good quality educational institution, and they should provide their citizens good education so that they can come out from the curse of poverty. So thank you everyone, and